The Weekly Warm Pipe.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back.
Indeed.
Yeah, holidays are upon us, Jay.
They are creeping ever closer.
I'm definitely feeling the heat working at Costco in the bakery. It's just like now it's go time, basically to the end of the year. We're making pies and cheesecake and all the goods.
No pun intended, right? Feeling the heat in the kitchen.
We actually call this week, we call it Hell Week because it's just mayhem. And basically for Thanksgiving, the bakery is open work wise 24 hours. So we have shifts. People come in at 6 a.m. to 2:30, and then someone comes in 3 to like 8, and then someone comes in 8 p.m. to like 3 a.m. So I'm doing the 4 p.m. to 12:30 the rest of the week.
Wow.
So it's a little switch up on my regular schedule. But
Yeah. Sounds mad. I remember you saying like a couple weeks ago there was like a crazy number of pies you guys were supposed to make. What was that number?
9,000.
9,000 pies. Holy mackerel.
Whether we get to that, I'll let you know. We made 9,000 pie pucks, what we call them, little pieces of dough, square pieces of dough that we press out in the pie press. So we made 9,000 of those. Whether we use them all, I'll keep you posted.
Let us know.
But yeah, intense for sure. But that's kind of on topic for this week, talking about the holidays. I told Jay, he said maybe we can dive into some memories of like going to family members' houses and gaming. How did you get your game on during the holidays? You got
Yeah.
time off from school back in the day. What did that look like with gaming? So we can see what Jay has for stories, I have for stories, and we reached out to you guys as well. We got a few, and we do have a caller we'll get to as well.
Woohoo!
You can always call into the show. We have a phone number where you can leave a voicemail, and that number is 949-682-9277. That's 949-682-WARP. Leave us a voice message.
Yeah, I have very vivid memories, Russ, for some reason, of gaming around the holidays back in the day, which is what led me to suggest this topic. I know my memory tends to be a little more sharper than yours when it comes to very specific memories, but I don't know. It just seemed like a good thing to talk about. So
Nice.
yeah.
Always a good time hearing Jay's stories of the past, diving into the warp pipe and going to the past.
Living through Jay's eyes. So
Yeah.
I got a good
What do
one
you
to
got?
start with.
Okay. Right out the gate.
Right out the gate. I'm thinking this is the perfect one since it's Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving 1992. It's Thanksgiving break, or really dang close to it. I can't remember the exact day. If I could see my Super NES box, but I think it was like November 21st, 1992. If you check and that is a Saturday, then that is the correct date. And I may check it in a minute because I'm just that curious. But let's do that real quick. We're going back to 1992 on the old iPhone, and we are seeing if November 21st was a Saturday.
I'll tell you the number one song in November 1992 is "I Will Always Love You."
Russ, confirmed. I don't know if you can see it on my phone.
Nope, it's all white.
Yeah, it's all white. But November 21st, 1992 was a Saturday. And I was in my living room watching some TV, kind of rainy outside. I had been saving up for a specific console. If you know what year it is, you probably know what console it was. My dad walks into the living room and goes, "Hey, Jay, how much money you got saved up for that Super Nintendo?" And I was like, I don't know, like $80, $85. The console, Russ, at the time, I think was $129 or $139. I can't remember the specific price.
I will cut you off right now. I just wanted to know how were you saving the money? Like, where was the money coming from? I want to know.
So I sold a skateboard.
Okay.
I sold. This is the one that makes me sad, Russ. I sold my Nintendo NES
Oof.
and all of my games.
Would you get,
So
like, $50 for that if you only had
I
80?
I think that was what I got for it, was $50
And it
for
was
the
just to,
NES.
like, what, some kid at school?
No, no, it was to Brooklyn Benjamin, who I've reached out to her father in the last 10 years and said, "Hey, do you still have your Nintendo?" And, they actually won one later in a Halloween costume contest. So they ended up having 2 Nintendos. So I was going to buy both of them from him, and then I was going to assume the one with the earlier serial number was mine.
Right, right.
Does that make sense, right? But he said those have been long gone, so somebody out there has my NES or it's in the trash, I don't know.
So close.
Ugh. My dad goes, "Why don't we go get that Super Nintendo today?" And my eyes lit up, Russ, like a Christmas tree that wasn't in the house because it was a month away. And, my dad drove me to Greenville to Toys R Us. Do you remember when you and NES Complex and myself and Tyler from, Triple G,
Mhm.
Yep Gaming, and Riff ate at that Chipotle in Greenville when you guys were talking about
Yeah, 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 we sat
for
outside.
Riff? Yeah, so that is right beside where the Toys R Us used to be.
Nice.
So you were close, Russ. You were close.
It was a nice area.
Yeah, and, so he took me in, and the whole way there I'm undecided at this point, Russ. I know that I love Super Mario World because I played it at my friend TJ's house on his birthday just 2 short months prior, late September, and all I could think about was I wanted that futuristic purpley console with those cool buttons, and I wanted to ride Yoshi and explore all those worlds in my own house.
Yeah,
However, there had been some heavy push by a little company known as Sega for the Genesis console.
I heard of it.
Yeah, I wondered if you had. I wasn't sure, but I figured I'd just, like, make it more clear. Um, so there was a part of me that wondered if maybe I wanted the Sega Genesis with Sonic, because it just had that Green Hill Zone music. Doo 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 doo. It just made me think, like, maybe that's what I really need." So I was undecided the whole way there,
Mhm.
and we get there, and I'm looking at the kiosk, and my dad's like, "What you gonna get?" And I think the Sega was $10 cheaper.
Oh.
If I'm not mistaken,
Mhm.
I'm gonna say the Super NES was 129.99 and the Sega was 119.99, but I think I only had 1 controller. And all I knew was I loved Mario World so much, and I thought to myself, if I don't go home and get to play Mario World, I'm gonna regret this decision.
Right, right.
So I pull the slip from the little plastic thing on the wall there. I go up to the big cage and I hand it to him. And a few moments later, he walks over with my brand new Super Nintendo. We pay for it. And the whole way home, I'm just looking at this box thinking, holy crap, I'm going to play Super Nintendo when I get home. And I remember coming home and hooking it up, and it was just the greatest thing ever. I was like, I cannot believe I own a Super Nintendo. This is a Christmas miracle. Like, this is the best thing ever. And it was the greatest way to spend my Thanksgiving break. Like, it was so fun. I was never bored. Anytime I was like, what can I do? It was like Super Nintendo, of course. It was just the greatest. And apparently, it took me from Thanksgiving break until Christmas break a month later to beat the game because I have notes in my instruction manual from the day I beat it on Christmas break.
Oh, okay. You
But
actually
that
used the note section?
Yeah, I actually used the note section, and I was like, I won over, like, WONOVER. I won over, like, beat, I guess, is, like, the way my stupid, like, 12-year-old, 11-year-old brain decided to write this. I won over Super Mario World. Anyway, so stupid. And then I just kept beating it over and over because, like, it was like all you had to do is just go back into the last level and keep beating it. So I just kept beating it over and over because I thought it was the first game I'd ever beaten. I'd never beaten an NES game. I did not have the dexterity or the mental capacity to sit there that long to beat it.
Oh, okay, okay.
And if it wasn't for the ability to save,
Save.
yeah, that was the only reason I got through that game. And
Yeah,
the fact that it was incredibly addictive. So
I'd say definitely with the save feature that would make key for having your break, play a few hours, save, then you got the next day, maybe you're going outside playing a little bit and you could come back, play more Super Mario World and pick up where you left off.
Yeah.
I was gonna say though, I'm surprised. I thought you were gonna say when you got home, then your dad was like, "All right, now you get to open it on Christmas," and like puts it away. But he let you play it that night.
No, no, yeah, he there was no way he was doing that. My dad was awesome like that. And that was, 1992, and that was a really memorable Thanksgiving for me, and, unfortunately, just 3 Thanksgivings later, my dad passed away on Thanksgiving Day. So I always really cherished that one because of getting that Super NES, it really just stood out in my mind so strongly
Yeah,
as a really great Thanksgiving week. So,
nice.
that's a good story.
That's a good story. Can't say I'll top that one, but for Thanksgivings, always me and my mom would always travel to my aunts. I wouldn't say travel; they're in the same town
Right.
over there, but we would always have Thanksgiving dinner there. And I would remember going there, eating, and they would have their TV downstairs. So they were in a raised ranch. So you would come in, there would be stairs going up and then stairs going down.
It's like a
So
split level kinda.
yeah, so I would, after we eat dinner, I'd head downstairs and they'd have the TV and stuff. And I never brought my game system over there, but I was happy to bring Game Boy, right? That's easy enough to travel with since it is a portable gaming device. So oftentimes, whether it be a Game Boy Advance, I'm sure I brought a 3DS also at some point, just because I knew I was going to be there for the entire day, basically, and I'll be able to have some chances to game.
There you go.
Yeah, so I'd always do that for sure. But for when I was in school and on break, that's when you got to put in the heavy gaming. I feel like you're getting the flyers from the stores, Kmart, service
Oh, yeah.
merchandise, and you're kind of seeing what games are coming out. Oh, will I be able to get a new game for my NES or Super Nintendo or something like that? So that was
Right.
always on your mind, or you could almost strategize, say that,
Strategize?
strategize with your friends. Like, okay, hey, you're getting this game, maybe I can get a different game, so we're not getting the same game, maybe you can get more use out of it for sure. Because I know my friend Sal would get a lot of the RPG games, like, he got Super Metroid before me, he got the Final Fantasy, games I've seen at his house, and I would watch him play oftentimes. And then sometimes if I did get the same game, we'd be able to go back and forth like, "Oh, where are you? Oh, I'm stuck in this part here. Can you help me out?"
Very cool. Do you
Indeed.
do you remember any of the specific games you played at your aunt's house? Like, any little
Um
blips of memories playing, like, something on the Game Boy?
I think I remember playing, Gargoyle's Quest on
Oh,
the Game Boy
nice.
because
That's
that's
a good
kinda
one.
like an RPG-ish platformer, right?
Right.
And so definitely takes some long time to be I haven't beaten it to this day. I'd like to go back and really give that one a go in the sequels as well, but definitely that, and obviously I would throw, like, Tetris in there if I needed a
Oh,
quick
yeah.
quick fix, which was super fun. You play it until usually I just play it until I died, and then that was it. I'd shut it off. I wouldn't try again right
Right,
after.
right.
It's like, all right, I got a good 15 minutes of gameplay.
You get kinda frustrated, right?
Right. Yeah. So playing those for sure. And then, just being off from school and being at my house gaming
Yeah.
was a good time. I do remember playing a lot further on, not Thanksgiving, but 'cause so my birthday's, December 19th, so it
Mhm.
falls close to Christmas, and then, I'm on Christmas break from school, so a lot of times, I would either get video games or do, like, a combined gift since I was so close to Christmas, I'm like,
Right.
"Can I get this more expensive gift?"
Okay. So
Um
you used it to your advantage, and it wasn't, like, used against you like some kids.
Right, right.
There you go.
But I do remember getting a little game called Chrono Trigger
Ooh.
and playing that one, extensively. since it was an RPG, it's going to keep you busy for a
Right.
while. And I remember sitting in my room. I have a picture somewhere of me in my room. I wonder, shoot, is it in? I don't think
Mm.
I could pull it up. It's so good. I have like
Are you
the
playing like Chrono Trigger?
I I don't think I am because I have a NES Advantage
Okay.
as the controller, but you can see like my bed sheets and everything. I don't know if I saved this one on my phone. I
Oh,
had
please.
I had a few retro photos I saved.
I
Um
need to see this photo. I'm gonna show you guys a photo for my next story whenever Russ shows this. Holy what? Russ, I kid you not, I have a picture of me at school in the Bulls jersey, almost identical to that.
so I'm in a Bulls
Yeah.
jersey,
Do you have Batman curtains?
Batman curtains and bedspread. There's little Batman sign
Uh-oh, your phone's
that's
went off.
hanging up in the corner there that says like "Welcome to Gotham City." I got the CRT
Look
TV.
at that TV.
If I could zoom in too, my aunt made me this Garfield lamp.
That is incredible.
So that's my room from.
Do you have a bubblegum dispenser in the corner there with the green lid?
No, it's a M&M dispenser. You put
Oh, that's
M&Ms in it.
sick. Oh, Russ. I wish we would have been friends back then.
But yeah, you can see I had my CRT TV there, and I remember sitting right there playing Chrono Trigger, and I probably mentioned this before, and on nonstop, I had the Collective Soul CD playing, just kind of grinding, and I was just enjoying the
Help
music.
me, I plead. You don't understand your ways and gut means you're smashing young man. That album?
I believe so. Yeah, the blue cover,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Self-titled with
S-
December and all that stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
You know that song Smashing Young Man? You know who that's about?
Mm-mm.
It's gonna all come together when I say who it's about. Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins.
How about that?
Shots fired from Ed Roland himself.
Nice. Were you pulling out the CD? What are you?
No, no, yeah, we're gonna rock it. No, I got a picture for you guys for my whenever you're wrapping up. I'm gonna tell you a little story about this picture here.
Oh, okay. I mean, that was pretty much it with slow close. I remember getting Chrono Trigger and just being in that bedroom and grinding and playing it and just have a grand old time for sure.
That's amazing. I love it. I love the picture. I gotta find me in my Bulls jersey. We look so similar, Russ. It's so funny. I'm gonna look for it one day and send you a picture. All right, so this next story, this is this is probably Christmas of '93. And one of the things I really wanted in Christmas of '92, along with the Super NES, was I really wanted a Game Gear. I was not a fan of the Game Boy because back in 1989, when I carried my NES to my grandfather's house in Mississippi, my cousin Tabitha, shout out Tabitha, said, "Oh, can I play your Nintendo? You can play my Game Boy." And I picked up her little Game Boy and I was playing Super Mario Land. And for all of you Game Boy fans out there, you're wrong. It's stupid. Uh, I picked it up and Mario was like this big. And I'm like, "Doot, doot, 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 doot." And I'm like, and the mushroom was even smaller.
Yes,
And
yes.
I was like, this sucks. Like, I don't want to play this. I can't see it's black and white. It's
Hmm.
tiny. Just give me my controller back. I'm playing my NES. So anyway, all that to say, I digress. I'm kidding though. The Game Boy was revolutionary, but I just didn't like it. But what I did like was a colored system. There's this other company, Russ. I don't know if I ever told you about it before. It's called Sega.
Hmm.
They made a superior Game Boy. I mean, but it was called Game Gear.
Game Gear.
The only negative is the batteries
The
lasted 4
batters.
hours, which is plenty of time to play
And
a game.
you had six of them.
You had 6 of them, but guess what, Russ? When you're riding in a car, I can't remember the name of it, but it's like Uncle Doc or something like that. Doc's I don't know what the company was, but they made this thing. You could plug it directly into your cigarette lighter, and you
Oh
didn't need
yes,
any
yeah.
batteries.
No batters. Yeah, good for
And guess
travel.
what? And then when you were at the house, you could plug in your Sega Genesis adapter to your thing that it came with. You didn't need batteries anywhere. So this
Basically
whole
not unless you're
so
at the
this whole
beach.
unless you're at the beach and who's gonna be playing a game, Sega Game Gear at the beach, you're gonna be in the water trying to getting attacked by sharks. Um, all that to say, I really wanted a Game Gear, because I loved the color aspect of it, and I just liked that it was wider and not like
Mhm.
like
Not as
this way.
cramped.
It wasn't like this way, it was this way. Does that make sense? It wasn't vertical, it was horizontal. Anyway, so it's getting close to Christmas. We're getting ready to travel to my sister's and who lived in Johnsonville, South Carolina. And it was my mom had already went down there to see my niece who was just born. And it was just me and my dad. And things happened when it was just me and dad. It's kind of why I like Tyler's channel so much because it seemed like his dad was like the real driving force behind some of their collecting. So I'm like, hey, dad, I really want to get a Game Gear. And he's like, you know what? Let's go to Service Merchandise and we'll get you one and you can have it for the drive down to the beach. So we drove to Service Merchandise and I got the Game Gear. It had like
Mhm.
the purple box with Sonic 2 in it.
Mhm. Yep.
And Russ, there was a little controversial game out at the time where people got blood splattered everywhere. Little game called Mortal Kombat. You ever heard of that game?
I heard they used a K instead of a C.
They did, and there was a blood code, and for the Game Gear, it was 212 down up, not ABACABB or whatever that Genesis one was.
That's right, because the Game Gear had 1 and 2 as the
That's
buttons.
right. And, so we got that, and my dad's a pastor. I don't know if he knew what he was doing or if he just didn't care, but thank you, Dad, for getting me Mortal Kombat despite the blood code and fatalities. And I played those 2 games all the way to the beach. And then when I got to the beach, well, I guess it wasn't technically the beach, it was like an hour up north. But my aunt got me a game that I also really wanted because there was this other game with this really unique character, Russ. I'd never seen it anywhere before. You could play as a dolphin. I'm referring to Echo the Dolphin, of course. And so they bought me Echo the Dolphin. Russ, I'm telling you, I played that game for 3 days straight until I beat it on the Game Gear.
At the beach in the
At
water.
the beach in the water while avoiding sharks, um, just like Echo taught me. Um, but that game was so good. The controls on the Game Gear are superior than the controls on the Genesis for that game. And as a matter of fact, if you could find that game for a Master System, which I don't know if that was something ever released, like in Europe or something, I bet it's incredible. But here's a picture of me at my sister's house while people are opening presents, and you can see my brother, if I can get the stupid glare off, looking down at me, watching what I'm
Yes,
playing.
yes.
There's little Jay in an LA Kings jersey. Yes, folks, I was a hockey fan even back in 1993, playing my Game Gear. I don't know what game. And if you look right here, you can
Uh-huh.
see
Oh, it
my
looks like
little
a
it's my black case that my Game Gear came in. You can see a little black or clear container that the game was sitting in.
oh, right, right. Yeah,
But
he has a little bag.
that's Jay in 1993 playing his Game Gear, excited about life. And that's the story of the Game Gear, Russ.
What's what's funny is, so I was in school, right? And the teacher says, "You need to write a persuasive essay." Okay?
Ooh,
It could
I
be
like
on
this.
anything. And so I was thinking, what can I write? And it was around the holidays. I think they kind of wanted you to maybe choose something like a gift you wanted for the holidays, and so write your parents like a persuasive essay. This way, it's like work, but seems fun.
Right. They must have stole that play from a Christmas Story. Red,
Oh,
right
right,
erection,
right.
BB gun. Remember he starts writing that thing about it, and she goes, "A plus, plus."
That's right. Another classic, but I'll be on 24 hours on
That's right.
Thanksgiving. So, what did you know? I put down the Game Gear.
What? Let's hear
Like,
these arguments.
it would be a miracle if I could find the paper. I may have it, like, somewhere at my mom's house, but
Oh my god, please do a whole video on it if you find it.
but I remember putting down, expressing that, I do have the Game Boy, but this was in color, so I would be able to, like, play it at night or, like, car rides at night. I explained the games on it where, they had different games than Nintendo and Game Boy, and one of my friends or so had it, so I was like, "Oh, I'd be able to trade games or borrow games with them, so you wouldn't have to buy me a lot of games. Uh, it's
Yeah,
like
had a
probably,
TV tuner, you can watch TV on it.
yeah, Dad, you can watch football if you want to borrow the game gear. Who knows what the stretch of the imagination I wrote down on why they should purchase it, and I'm trying to remember if they ended up getting me it then,
You
because
can't remember if you
I
got a game system or not?
I can't remember if I got it then, or
So
because
you eventually got it.
I eventually got it, but I don't
Okay.
know if it was for, that maybe, hey, it wasn't in the budget that year or no, because obviously, geez, what would have been new? I don't know, over $100, I imagine,
Yeah. Yeah, I
eh,
think so.
plus some games and stuff like that. And who knows, maybe it was too late in the year, and mom and dad maybe already purchased some gifts, and they're like, well, now we can't spend another $100, on whatever. Maybe they got me some NES games, and then that wasn't in the budget. But yeah,
Right.
I'd love to be able to try to find some photos and stuff. I'll have to do some digging at mom's, because obviously we took pictures on Christmas and my birthday and stuff. I had only I had her dig out some stuff, so I had only found those few photos of me that I just took a picture of with my phone and was able to scan it. So I had that, and I had a picture at Christmas time with me and my friend playing Super Mario Brothers there.
Dude, that couch is amazing.
I'm trying to see too if my shirt, yeah, if I can zoom in, you might be able to see with the center, but I do have a Mighty
A
Ducks.
Mighty Ducks shirt. Look at you, Russ. We would have been so good friends. That's amazing. Yeah, I'm rocking Kings, you're rocking Ducks. We both got Bulls jerseys.
I'm trying to see what kind of shoes I had on, but man, yeah, Christmas time playing that, and I don't know if you're ready. I'm sure I showed you this other picture, just if we're sharing photos. These are my 3 retro photos. It's Christmas time. Here's me rocking a Nintendo sweatshirt
I love the hat
with a
thing.
no, it's a Star Spangled Banner, like,
Bandana,
bandana,
like
yeah,
a yeah,
a
American flag
American
bandana.
flag bandana.
You had
Um,
Mario Madness, Russ.
so what's funny about this is I had, found this photo, and I ended up remaking that sweatshirt,
Did you?
where there's a site I use to do my merch, and you can just upload images. And so I found that image online, got it printed up. So I still, I think
You
I
still
ended up
have
getting,
one.
I think I ended up getting 2 of them because I ordered a medium and it was like a little too tight. So I was like, you know what, I'll
Ooh,
get a large too. So all my stuff's packed so far away. I'll have
that's
to
so cool, though.
dig it out. And I was like, you know what, I need to recreate this photo.
Yeah, that's so rad. You gotta put that hat back on.
So I'll get me
Your
a
skull cap.
do rag or whatever it was.
That's such a funny picture. Did you just, like were you just, like, obsessed with that hat?
I don't know why the heck I assume I have it on because in the sweatshirt itself is red, white, and blue, so I figured
Yeah.
it
Maybe it was
matched.
maybe it was 4th of July and you were just going ham?
It could be.
That's so funny, I love it.
Good times.
What a great picture. Alright, are you ready for another story, Russ, or do you have one?
No, yeah, you could jump on the story.
Yeah, you can tell this is a J topic because 'cause I'm like, "I've got all these stories I'm gonna unload upon you." Alright, so this story you can actually see in video. After you listen to this podcast, you can go to NES Addict, my channel, it might have something with my retro life on the thumbnail because I think it was like a tribute to Tyler's. It was basically me doing a video as closely as I could to like the way Tyler does his videos. It's like a little love letter to my retro life, and to also tell a story about how I got the Nintendo NES Christmas of 1989.
Nice.
So when I moved from North Carolina to South Carolina in 1988, summer of 1988, probably like June, my dad moved here to take this new church that he pastored at, and I quickly got to meet a lot of the kids at the church. And there's just one toy all these kids had that I'd never. If I knew about it before, I didn't really know much about it, and my memory doesn't really. I feel like I knew one kid that might have had it when I lived in North Carolina, but I didn't really get the hype behind it. and that toy was a Nintendo. But every kid at this new church had it, all of them. So the next Christmas, anytime anybody said anything, Jay, what do you want for Christmas? Nintendo. Russ, I'm kidding you not when I say if that would have been the only gift I would have got, that would have been fine.
Yeah.
My mom, though, bless her heart, is the kind of person who's like, I don't want to get you this one expensive thing because then I'll only have one gift to give you. I would rather get you 10 things that you don't care about than this one thing that you really want. So it seems like you got more.
Well, she could have got the Nintendo and then wrapped one controller, wrapped one power cord,
I don't know, but
stretch it out.
this is Judy's way of thinking. Thanks, Judy. So anyway, and it was like anytime anybody said, Jay, what you want for Christmas? It was like immediate Nintendo, Nintendo, Nintendo. It was like me, it was like I was like Ralphie wanting the Red Ryder BB gun. I didn't want there to be any confusion about what I wanted. It was just one thing and one thing only. So Christmas morning comes and rolls around, and I'm opening presents. I get like some Ninja Turtles, some Bugle Boy jeans,
Underwear.
yeah, underwear. I think I got a pair of masks, slippers, or no, it's earmuffs,
Oh,
which I
okay.
wish I still had. Those were cool. And just random little knickknacks here and there. I got some kind of like little fish tank that these little crystals grew in the fish tank when you put water in it. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm opening all these random gifts. Russ, the one thing I'm not seeing is the Nintendo NES. And my dad goes, Hey, Jay, did you get everything you wanted for Christmas? And me trying hard not to sound disappointed. I'm like, yeah. He's like, what are you looking for over there? It's like, just seeing if I have any more presents. Meanwhile, my dad motions for my brother to exit the room, unbeknownst to me. He sneaks out, he walks back in, and he hands me this box. And the minute he hands it to me, the shape of the box is like, I'm like, this has got to be what I've been looking for. And I opened it up and my dad says, What'd you get, Jay? And I say, Nintendo. I didn't sound thrilled, but I was so thrilled. And then he goes into this whole story. Oh, yeah, here it is. You left under the tree with my name on it. I was starting to get nervous. You can hear my dad set me up when he asked me this.
What are you looking for, Jay?
So that was from you and Dad.
What are you looking for, Jay?
The rest of my friends
Who's that from?
from Mom.
Well,
No Nintendo.
No Nintendo? How could this be? I had been good all year. Santa must have forgotten somehow. I didn't realize it at the time, but my father had stolen a play straight from the Christmas story. Except what I was about to receive wouldn't shoot my eye out, but it might shoot some ducks or an annoying laughing dog.
oh, can you believe that? Huh? No Nintendo. Well,
Dad could say Nintendo, apparently.
Dad.
With my attention focused on a Ninja Turtle, sewer surfing Mike, if I remember correctly. See? Gives my brother the nod to sneak away and get one. I don't know why my brother's only wearing a robe. He looks like he's so creepy.
Jay, Santa Claus left one more present for you in the hallway that we missed. You reckon that is?
Oh, gosh, I can't believe it.
Listen to that accent.
Jay, hold up. Let me see. Tell me what it is, Jay.
And here, captured forever, was me getting the Nintendo Entertainment System.
What is it, Jay?
Nintendo.
All right, see that picture my sister just
Can't
took?
really tell it in my voice. but I
I've
was
got that
excited.
picture. Hang on, let me see if I can find it real quick.
Nice. Yeah, if you guys want to check out this video, just search NES Attic Christmas with
So
Nintendo.
I didn't know this picture existed anymore, Russ. My sister brought me this a couple years ago. She found the exact picture of me with my Nintendo NES. Isn't that crazy? That
Wow.
it's like so meta to see a video of a picture getting taken and then having that picture.
Nice.
That was me, baby. But man, that was the greatest Christmas present ever. And then I just sold it to get a Super Nintendo. Like, let's disregard, move on, next thing. But
you still have the
I
memories.
still have the memories. Yep.
Yeah, and it was a good Christmas break, Christmas, summer.
Yeah,
up
I mean,
until
like
Super
like I
Nintendo.
had yeah, I mean, that I think I just had Mario Duck Hunt for until, like, February of that year when I think I got, Batman for Valentine's, and then I ended up getting Skate or Die, and then the next Christmas I got Mario 3, but, and at some point I got King of Kings, and I got Ninja Turtles at one point, which I ended up taking back because it was too hard. I got rollerblades. But that NES, that right there, that picture, this is the day that NES Addict was formed. You just didn't know it. Right there. You're looking at NES Addict right there. Bam.
Nice.
But
nice.
yeah, this is a super great holiday memory. That Christmas was awesome.
Sweet. I dig it. We'll see what the people were saying. I reached out to everyone on our social medias. If you guys wanted to follow us over there, we're on Instagram with the Weekly Warp Pipe, Facebook, and on YouTube. There's a community tab page where we post stuff on there, and you can interact with us. So we'll hear from you.
What did you say? What did you say?
Springfield, let's hear from you.
All right, let's check out the YouTube page here. Steve V's Man Cave Arcade said Christmas of 95. My parents got me a Super Nintendo that came bundled with Donkey Kong Country. It was the first system I ever owned. It became my favorite system of all time. So many great memories playing games with my family and friends, but it all started with that amazing Christmas gift under the tree that year.
Oh yeah.
River City Ransom. I remember having a Christmas party when I was like 6 years old at my uncle's house. So 1996. My cousin had a SNES and was almost done beating Mega Man X
Wow.
while I was over there. He left the room, and I remembered at the end of the first level, you're supposed to lose to the boss, so it plays out the story. Well, I didn't know that. I felt confident I could beat him. So while he was gone out of the room, I reset the game, erasing all his progress.
Oh god.
I, of course, lost to the first boss and felt super bad. He cried to his dad, and I didn't know what to say. I still feel bad. Oh, well.
That's funny.
Wow.
Just ruining Christmas for somebody. Sorry, cousin.
Core memory.
Yeah.
Retroholic 16. My biggest Christmas gaming memory is of 1998. I was 13 and I got an N64. I was so excited to upgrade from the SNES and Genesis I had. I got Mission Impossible and WCW versus NWO
I
World
played
Tour.
that game a lot with my friends.
I heard it was a good one. And played the heck out of those. A few days later, I went to my friend David's house and he let me borrow Ocarina of Time. This was my first time playing a Zelda game, and to this day is my top 3 favorite games of all time.
Wow.
And we got Waves and Games. I'm the oldest of 6 kids. So gaming during the holidays meant a ton of kart racing and Halo.
That makes sense.
But when we get together now as adults, we still play Mario Kart and Halo 2,
Nice.
keeping the tradition going.
Double kill, triple kill, overkill.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that, like, as me growing up, like, didn't have, brothers and sisters to game with, essentially, so coming from a big family, I could see gaming around the holidays being a big thing, especially, like, multiplayer games, Mario Party type games, and Mario Kart and all that.
Yeah, those would be great multiplayers. Yep. It's funny because there's some controversy going around my house right now, Russ. You want to hear about this tea? Got some tea to spill if you want to hear about it.
Oh, okay.
So, this is this is it's so silly. I'm like, should I share this? Sure, I'll share it. So, my brother-in-law Brad had a Sega growing up, and we always talk about Altered Beast when we're together. And I don't think either one of us have ever beat it. I feel like I find that game challenging. Have you ever beat
Mhm.
Altered Beast without save states?
No, I don't think so. I beat the arcade one because you could keep adding quarters.
Right. I can get to the level where there's like ants running through the
Mhm.
cave, and I think you become a bear. Anyway, that's as far as I can get. So anyway, we were like, hey, we're gonna play Altered Beast when I come up for Christmas, and we're gonna try to beat it. Well, I'm not exactly sure why my mother-in-law is like, she does not want video games played at her house at Christmas break for some reason. I don't know why. I always bring games when I come up there, and I never like bother her with them. I don't. It's not like I play them on like the main TV in the living room.
Right.
I always play them like upstairs on some
It's just
TV
just
nobody
like
cares
barge
about.
in. Turn off this football crap.
Yeah, yeah. What is this? You're watching Home Alone again? No, we're playing Sega Genesis. And but apparently, like, she's like, don't bring your games to my house. And then like my sister-in-law, who has a little mini Nintendo, like one of those knockoff like NES classics,
Okay.
hooked up to her TV, and her kids play games all the time. She's like, and Jamie doesn't want you playing games at her house either. And we're like, really? And Jamie's like, no, don't include me in this. I don't care. Like, so anyway, it's just I don't really understand why she's so against it, my mother-in-law. But I'm thinking about bringing it up tomorrow and be like, so I heard we're not allowed to play games at your house at Christmas. What's the deal? I mean, it's not a huge deal, but like, I just don't understand how it's going to impact her at all. You know, I don't. I just don't get it. But anyway, there's been a lot of back and forth between my wife and my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law about like why this is the way it is. Anyway, just kind of an interesting little holiday gaming tidbit.
Right. Well, I mean, I guess the only thing I can think of is, then maybe everyone's gathered up in the games where the games are being played and she's just left downstairs alone, or maybe watching football, which she maybe doesn't like or
Or
something.
maybe she's like stuck with the kids while we're playing games. But like, here's the thing. I honestly think at the longest we'll have time to sit and play something for an extended period of time is maybe an hour. Maybe
Right.
an hour. I was just gonna bring my Sega Classic up there and hook it up, but like I don't see this becoming like a 3 hour, 5 hour like gaming, like what's the word I'm looking for? Like
Marathon.
extravaganza. Yeah, marathon. That's the word I was looking for.
You're like, send up the turkey. We're
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're not even coming down for this. Just bringing this the food, please. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it would have been just like a very brief thing, so I don't really understand what the fuss is. But anyway, I just find it humorous, really, and I'm not mad. I don't care, but I don't get it.
All right, we'll hop over to Facebook. We had one comment on there from Jason. He did say, I remember it being awesome to be on school break, as parents would still be working, so you got to play all day till they got home.
That is incredible.
That's true. You could wake up, maybe watch The Price is Right a little bit,
Yep.
and
Get you some Fruity Pebbles.
then do some gaming.
That's right. That's exactly when and how I beat Super Mario World around Christmas. My dad was across the street at the church working. My mom was who knows where, and I was home alone and Super NES, baby. Let's go.
Nice. All right, we did have a phone call I wanted to get to.
Ooh,
We left
curious
us
to hear.
a voicemail. Again, if you missed it early on, you can call us and leave a voice message. Phone number is 949-682-9277. And we'll play it on the air.
I keep dreaming about my dream phone.
It's for you.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Virgin Splurge Thrifting. Just chiming in on this week's topic about gaming during the holidays. And always remember as a kid, especially at Christmas time, when you got that new game that you've been looking for or waiting for Christmas, and just spending your entire Christmas break just trying so hard to beat through it. A great memory I have is when I got my Nintendo 64 back in the winter, Christmas '96. I asked for it for Christmas. It came. I had two games, Star Wars Shadows of the Empire and
Nice.
Mario 64, both good games, but I just remember vividly trying so hard to get so far during my Christmas break playing Mario 64, and I vividly remember one night that I was playing after dinner and stayed up, kind of not knowing that I was up so late. I was just so
Whoops.
intense into the game, and lo and behold, I looked outside and it was light out. So
Oh my gosh, you stayed up all night.
unfortunately, I stayed up all night. I guess not, unfortunately, because I had a blast. But my dad walked in the room and noticed that I hadn't been to bed, and that was it for my Nintendo in my room for a little while. But I got it back. But just a great memory of just staying up all night, enjoying the Christmas break, playing video games. Cheers, guys.
Excellent. Thanks,
That's
Colby, for calling in.
that's
Flirts and
funny.
splurts thrifting. Yeah, me and him hung out and did some thrifting at Savers and Goodwill. He came down.
Nice.
So hopefully we'll be able to get back to that at some point. I thought he was going to say his dad like took the N64 right in the fire. It goes.
Oh God, can you imagine?
Jeez, yeah, staying. I mean, that's the benefit of being on school break. There, I guess you don't have to sleep. What are you going to get
No
up for,
sleep,
right? No
right?
work, no.
Sleep the next day.
Yeah.
I have a story similar to that. So, my brother had got me Super Star Wars for Christmas of '93. No, maybe it was '92. It was right when I got my Super NES, and I'd played it a lot that Christmas break, and I was getting good at it. And there was one night me and him stayed up, and I was just like on a run, and we were like at the Death Star. We had gotten that far, and we're like, "Oh my gosh, like shoot it in the little thing." And he's like quoting all these Star Wars quotes because he was a '60s kid, so he remembers Star Wars way better than I did at that point. But um my dad comes out, he gets out of bed and he walks in there. And now my brother's 16 years older than me, so he's yelling at me who's like 11 or 12, and he's yelling at my brother who's like in his 20s. He's like, "Some of us have to work in the morning, keep it down." Like we were on Christmas break and my dad's like, "I still gotta work," like.
That's true.
So I was like, "Oh God, sorry, Dad."
Just getting too excited.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah. Those are some good stories for sure about gaming and the holidays.
Yep.
Again, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, you can leave your comments about how did you game in the holidays, what maybe games you got. We're hoping to keep the theming going for future episodes. Let's see. What was it? So
I
the
know in the
one
past we've looked at like deals going on.
that's what I was gonna say. Maybe I think next week could be our Black Friday deals.
Yeah.
I think we did that in the past, and it was kind of fun to try to look up old ads of what Black Friday deals were, or stories of
Maybe
us maybe getting some Black
maybe
Friday
what we
deals.
should do, Russ, is I think we discussed this briefly, was like record Wednesday
Mm,
night. And I don't know if you can drop it Thursday for Black Friday instead of Saturday this week. Just a
yeah,
thought.
just a thought. But that would be on, it'd be on Thanksgiving then. It'll drop a special Thanksgiving episode
That's right.
for Black Friday deals, or just drop it on Friday, I guess, for Black Friday,
I guess so. You
at
could.
7 a.m.
It just might be too late. I don't know. They're out there running around 5 a.m.
Oh, you're saying we want to do deals coming up this current Black
Yeah.
Friday as well to
Yeah.
let the people know.
Or I mean
Yeah.
that was my thought. I guess we could always do past Black Friday deals.
I mean,
Uh,
we could do both. That's a full episode.
there you go.
I'll have to try to dig and see what deals are now with Black Friday.
I don't even know.
Who knows what's on sale? What games? Steam sales? What do
I
we
used to
got?
always buy
Physical
the
games?
paper on Thanksgiving so I could like flip to the ads.
Do they even still have ads anymore? I'd never
Do they
gotten
still have
paper.
newspapers anymore? I don't know.
That was what did come up. I have so many robocalls now going to my phone, and I said to my wife, I was saying something about it was there was something on our mailbox, and she's like, "Did you grab that yellow bag on the mailbox?" And I was like, "No, I think your dad got it." And she's like, "I wonder what it was." And I was like, "Maybe it was the newspaper." And she's like, "Well, you have to pay for that." And I was like, "Maybe they're throwing a freebie because no one freaking reads the newspaper."
Right, yeah, exactly. Get you interested again.
It just says you just open it up and it says go to thenewspaper.com to read articles.
Oh Lord, yeah, probably
Who
would.
knows? Sweet. Well, appreciate you guys tuning in, listening to us, watching us. Feel free to check out the weekly warpipe.com. We got all our past episodes up there, merch as well. You can get stickers, magnets, hats, t-shirts, and all that fun stuff. And you can also, if you want to support the show, you can do it through my Patreon. We got our top Patreon supporters are Dan and Nicole's Treasures Untold, Joe Sheevy, Trace Living Good, Samantha Chang, Rodney Torres, Ritual 16, and Austin Mills for supporting the show. And of course, shout out to Bull Air, sponsor of the weekly Warp Pipe. You can get some custom shoes, hats. He just did a drop of Back to the Future stuff.
Nice.
The Marty McFly like hat, the freaking jacket, the Bull Air, the Nike mags. He calls them the Bull mags, but pretty awesome stuff for sure.
Very cool.
And that wraps it up for this episode. Thank you for jumping in the Warp Pipe with us, and we'll see you on the next level.